Our Chief Executive Officer of Air Peace joins us now from our Lagos studio to take a look at the impact of the global pandemic on the aviation industry. Thank you so much, Mr. Alan ONYEMA, for joining us tonight on Newsnight. First off, I'd like to get your reaction to this move by federal government, considering federal government is considering banning flights from Dubai and the Netherlands. I do know that Air Peace flies to Dubai. How will this affect your operations? How will it affect your airline?
Well, I support the federal government's action. It's a matter of reciprocity. I treat you the way you treat me. The United Arab Emirates came up with some guidelines as to how they want the operations to continue. However, they picked on Nigeria, banning transit passengers from Nigeria. But I want to point out here that Air Peace is not affected by all this, because Air Peace flies to Sharjah, which is about 5 minutes drive from Dubai. We are not flying to DXB. We have contacted the Sharjah International Airport, and they told us that Air Peace operations will not be affected at all. In fact, what the Sharjah International Airport authorities told us to do is to make sure that our passengers undertake the 72 hours before departure test and get the result. It must be negative results 72 hours before departure. Currently, it's running on 96 hours, but they told us yesterday that they will be changing it to 72 hours. Air Peace is not affected by the 4-hour departure rapid test regime. Emirates are talking about for Dubai, for DPX airport. We fly to Sharjah, not DPX. So Air Peace passengers will not be affected.
Now, let's move on to the issue of the bottom line. We can understand that Air Peace will not be affected. A number of other airlines might be affected, especially if they're flying to Dubai and so on. In terms of this COVID-19, a number of airlines have had to retrench some of their staff. What is the situation with Air Peace?
Yeah, we all know that, with the advent of COVID-19, the aviation industry worldwide has been the worst hit. And Nigeria is not immune from those effects. However, us in Air Peace, I keep on saying it. Somebody said, how do you manage your blood pressure? I don't have any blood pressure, because in the first place, why did I set up the airline? To create jobs, not necessarily to enrich myself. So we've been managing, but the truth is, the effects are very debilitating, very devastating. For example, in 2019, November and October, we sent out 3 of our aircraft. I'm just giving you an example, how the effect has been, how COVID-19 has dealt a blow to aviation, particularly Air Peace and Nigerian Airlines. In October 2019, we sent out 3 of our planes to Europe for C-check maintenance. Those planes were supposed to have started coming in December. And remember, the C-check regime in Nigeria is governed by calendar. That means, for example, the brand new airplane we brought 2 days ago, it has started counting 18 months from the day we brought it in. That aircraft is supposed to go back for C-check. So when we sent out these 3 planes, we expected them to come back in December. However, this COVID-19 had started in Europe and some of the Asian countries by December 2019. It affected their workforce. It affected the rate at which they were working on these planes. So these planes couldn't come in. And by January 2020, most of the MROs had started shutting down abroad, and that really affected us. So by March, Nigeria also joined the lockdown. What this did to us is that we couldn't get our planes back. Meanwhile, the ones we were using in Nigeria started also getting close to their C-check. By August, 21 planes belonging to Air Peace were abroad. That was why you have a dearth of aircraft flying in Nigeria, because about 21 planes belonging to Air Peace had to be flown abroad for C-check, and nobody was working on these planes. Nobody was attending to them because they too were on lockdown. Nobody was working on them. So back home, remember, the insurance must be paid, whether you fly the plane or you don't fly the plane. There are certain things that are static. You must pay for them. Certain maintenance must go on, whether you fly the plane or you don't fly the plane. Now, you talk about the workforce, the number of people you have to, send away almost over 3,000 people on leave without pay.
So we do get that, Mr. ONYEMA, because we don't have much time. We'd like to put in a few more questions. The Senate in November actually raised the alarm that chances are that airlines, because of the economic impact of COVID-19, could be cutting corners. As a matter of fact, they actually said that senators said that it may not be safe flying Nigerian airlines at this time because of the financial crunch. And then in November, of course, the federal government came up with the bailout, about 4 billion, compared to what exactly you need to get back on your feet. Maybe you want to help us understand how safe it is. Is it safe for us to fly Nigerian domestic airlines? And that bailout, how much impact has it had on the aviation sector till date?
You see, I think what this distinguished senator was trying to say was that Nigerian airlines needed to be given more money than they were given. The federal government approved 4 billion naira for all the Nigerian airlines put together. They were trying to ask for more for the airlines, and in doing that, he was only trying to make it weighty, maybe to make the government understand the precarious situation we found ourselves in. All Nigerian airlines are safe. It is even more expensive to have an accident. Nobody wants to have that. No, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority will never, ever allow any aircraft that is unsafe to be in the skies. The kind of regime of maintenance, the kind of regime of oversight the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority carries out on Nigerian airlines, not even in the first world, they don't do it. We should begin to appreciate our own. We participate in it. We go abroad to buy planes. We know what they do over there. They cannot match Nigeria. They cannot match what the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority does. That is the truth. In fact, at times we feel that they're overdoing it. So all Nigerian airlines are safe. No airline will ever take to the skies with rickety plane or an aircraft that has not been certified worthy of being in the skies. That was what the senator was actually trying to say. But he said it his own way. But the truth is that all Nigerian airlines are safe, and you are safe flying Nigeria. But now talking about the 4 billion.
If you don't mind, just give us a minute. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with the Rise News. You're watching Newsnight coming out of Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We have with us still the Chief Executive Officer of Air Peace, still with us on Newsnight. Thank you very much. You were just about to land on what you wanted to say with regards to the bailout. If you can finish that, then I'll take on the final question just before we let you go. Thank you very much.
Okay. The federal government gave us a bailout of 5 billion naira for the entire aviation industry, 4 billion naira to all the airlines in Nigeria. Yes, there's been a lot of complaint from different quarters, from all quarters, even from airlines, that the 4 billion wasn't enough to take care of our problems. That is the truth. Yes, I keep on saying it. That is the truth. 4 billion for all the airlines, not enough. However, the federal government also did something that also helped us. The 4 billion was a grant, kind of free money for us, and it helped us. It helped us to pay salaries. It helped us to do some little things according to your level. However, the federal government afforded us single-digit loans. We never had it before like that. 5%. Before now, my loans came at 26, 27%. But for the first time, I got a loan for just 5%. So that is something, worthy of commendation of the federal government. They did that for us. But beyond that, the federal government, this President Muhammad Buhari, signed into law total waiver from custom duties for importation of aircraft. Total waiver, that's zero duties on importation of aircraft, zero waiver on VAT for imported aircraft, zero VAT on spare parts, aircraft spares. So if you are given 10 billion naira each as an airline, or even 20 billion, it will not last you maybe about 5 months. But what he has done has saved a lot of money for us. I remember within 9 months last year, APs had expended about 54 billion on issues concerning maintenance. But now we are going to save a lot of money through custom duties, through VAT. So we have to thank the federal government for doing this. But there are more to be done in order to help the airlines. So many of the
very quickly,
about that.
we do understand that. But can you help us understand very quickly, truly, if you have had to lay off staff? Because I read somewhere that Airpeace had to let go about 70 pilots. Do you want to confirm that?
Yeah, all the airlines all over the world at one time or the other during the COVID situation thing, had to lay off a certain number of staff. But I want to tell you, there was a reason for taking that decision on the pilots. And those reasons, I don't want to go into them, on the set. But there were reasons, not because actually anything, but there were reasons why we took that decision. We took those decisions for the benefit of the airline, for the benefit of over 3,000 people working in Airpeace other than pilots, and for the benefit of those pilots themselves. We needed to do certain things to make certain things happen. However, during the period, we had to send some staff on unpaid leave during the time of lockdown. Immediately after lockdown, we brought them back. As I speak to you, we've recalled all AP staff, and we even restated them to 100% of their salaries. And we are even advertising to employ more people. It's all about job creation for us in Airpeace.
Mr. Allen ONYEMA, Chief Executive Officer, Airpeace, well done. Congratulations on your new aircraft, Embry. It's a fantastic one. We've seen the report, and it shows that you're still growing. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.